Today, my dear family, we are in the fifth Sunday of Ordinary Time in a Catholic Church. That basically just means that we are in the fifth Sunday since we finished celebrating the season of Advent. The season of Advent extends even after Christmas. The season when Christ became one of us, being born on earth. In the Catholic Church, we offer God worship through liturgy, and our liturgies have a calendar. But the calendar for us, for our liturgies, do not follow the same calendar that most people follow. Our liturgical calendar begins on the first Sunday of Advent, or the first week of December. That is what New Year looks like for us. The first Sunday of December is the Catholic New Year. Our calendar, our liturgical calendar, works on a three-year rotating basis for the weekends. Those are Year A, Year B, and Year C. Each year has an assigned gospel for each Sunday, for each year. For instance, Year A has the Gospel of Matthew, Year B the Gospel of Mark, and Year C the Gospel of Luke. Each gospel tells us their version or point of view of who Jesus is, their version of what his life looked like. And throughout Ordinary Time, we get to hear about his public ministry. What did Jesus do after his baptism? And today we are in the fifth week of hearing that from Luke. Luke is the gospel assigned to Year C, the year that we're found in today. So we will keep hearing about Jesus' public ministry after his baptism up until next Sunday, first Sunday of Advent. And for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to summarize who Luke is in order to understand what he's saying about today's gospel. Consider Luke to be an intelligent and academic, well-informed and educated man. He was also a renowned physician. Not only that, but he is considered to be a trustworthy historian, someone who is able to tell facts as closely as possible to actual history. And he was also a convert to Christianity. He was a travel companion from St. Paul. St. Paul is the guy who gave us today's second reading. Luke, in summary, is an intelligent man who converted to Christianity and had an encounter with Jesus through Paul. That is the Luke that we hear in today's gospel. And Luke places a very important emphasis on the public ministry of Christ. Luke emphasizes all throughout his gospel that Jesus Christ preached with gentleness and with forgiveness. That is his public ministry. Today's gospel is an example of that. In today's gospel, we hear how Jesus was going on a walk. And on his walk, he preached the word of God. And in him preaching the word of God, he was so captivating because of his gentleness and his forgiveness that crowds start to form around him, to the point that people started pressing against each other, and it was becoming difficult to move. So Jesus decides to get on to one of the two boats that were ashore, and he asks Peter, the owner of that boat, to go a little deeper. Go deeper into the ocean, because he wanted to preach. And not only that, but Jesus saw an opportunity to show his mercy. Peter and his companions, exhausted, said, "Okay, sure." And then Jesus tells them, "Now throw the net." And Peter hesitating says, "Well, we have been working all evening, all night. We have got nothing, but Lord, at your command, we will do it." So he obeys, but hesitates. And at the end of that, he catches many fishes. At this, Peter realizes the amount of mercy that Christ is showing him, not only to him as a person, but to him as a fisherman. And he recognizes that he does not deserve it. In fact, he says, "Lord, I am a sinful man. Depart from me." But Jesus replies to him and says, "Be not afraid. Now you will be fishers of men." Or in other words, do not remain in what you are right now. Do the work that I do. Preach the word of God. Preach it with gentleness and with forgiveness. My dear family, many times we also find ourselves in the same boat, pressed against the many issues and struggles of life, willing to listen to the word of God, but hesitating because we feel ourselves exhausted by the many sufferings and works of life. We hesitate, but we go into deeper waters. And we do not give up, but we try to. So we wash the nets and set them aside. Yet Jesus comes and says, "No, at my command, follow me." And he preaches the mercy and gentleness that he wants for us. Hence, my dear family, let us accept that mercy. Let us accept his gospel. Let us become living gospels of that message. Let us recognize, like Peter, that yes, we are sinners, but we're sinners in need of his mercy. Let us become preachers and fishers of men, preaching his mercy and his forgiveness. Let us become another Luke who converts others also into his gospel. That is our mission, and that is what the Lord did. And if we so choose to accept it, we should also be evangelizers.